It's not just, oh, we need better ads. Oh, we need this funnel. Like, fuck off. Inside of facts. I don't want emotions. I feel good about our marketing. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if you feel good about it. I want to know, is it working?
I don't want to seem like braggy.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
I still have vanity metrics that rule my body, which is horrible. I still have anorexic tendencies. Those are the facts. Like, that's getting real with you guys. Like, that's getting fucking raw.
Yeah. It's the things I don't like.
Yep.
Like this. Like just this stuff.
Yeah. This is the shit nobody likes. Why nobody does it. That's why everyone sucks.
Fair.
We can all go inside a fucking insert XYZ guru name and we know exactly what to expect. We'll fucking hype each other up. We'll fucking pat each other on the butt, tell you how fucking great you are, and tell you, do this in your marketing, it won't fucking work, and we'll see you in 90 days and your business will still fucking suck.
You let me pose in front of your McLaren.
You can pose in front of my McLaren all you want. Tell you, you gotta get real with yourself before you can get real with another person. I need you to be able to write down all the fucking facts, and I guarantee you, gun to the head right now, if I make you write down all the facts, you're gonna start crying. 100%. Because there's some shit you're suppressing. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you there is. Like, it's kind of the same in business, where it's like, hey, you don't want to make a lot of money and be like a fat pile of shit. Like, you don't want to make a lot of money and be so far disconnected from your friends and family that like you're isolated with all sorts of money, right? And so like inside of this, we started realizing, all right, well, like there's tools for us to achieve that. So what we just went through is like the tools component of this. Does everybody understand that? I understand, like, these are the tools, like, armed with the daily reflection, armed with the win of the day tools, like, we can now start to live closer to the core of winning. Okay, the code, does everybody understand the code? Like, the code is really simple, right? Like, this is literally, like, the foundation of the network, it's the foundation of the legacy group, it's like, tell the fucking truth. It's like, live in truth, live in facts. And so, when in doubt, like, this is where you always start. Like, this is where we always start, which is like, what are the facts? So the call I'm on this morning, she's like, I need money. And I was like, great, what are the facts? The facts are you don't have a product. How are you gonna make money? Well, I wanna sell these books. Okay, what are the facts? I don't know where to sell the books. Got it. Are you gonna make money this week from books? No. Okay, what are the facts? So like, we always start at the facts. By the way, like when we have the facts and we actually do like a reflection on facts, what happens? We get closer to the core. And you guys start to see like how this works. So like this, literally, if you understand like this half, right, or this like 60% over here, like you will be infinitely better than 99% of people that play the business game. What I want to talk about the rest of the day though, is what lives on this side, which is the map and the win. So the map is something that I really feel strongly that we need to create. So how many of you guys attended or have watched the New Year's training that we did on like 2025? Okay, so you guys understand, like, to me, what we should be looking at is an impossible game. So really quickly, I want everybody to write down your 2025 targets as they sit today.
In terms of financial or like? Your
2025 targets as they sit today. Who will volunteer and share first? Kayla, we'll start with you. Okay, great. Well, thank you for volunteering. So, what's up, dude? When we look at 2025 targets, right, what are they?
Well, for Carrie's business, it's definitely keeping her rev at 3 mil and bringing down her expenses, which we're supposed to be reviewing today.
Okay.
That's the big one.
Who's supposed to be reviewing?
Carrie and I.
Okay.
You remember
I was like,
putting that document?
Yeah. Okay. So 3 mil with more profit. Okay. What else?
That's good. I mean, that's the main one for her.
Okay. That's it.
For her.
Great. So I'm just gonna call bullshit.
I would say having a sales team that doesn't have a high turnover, so being able to make.
Well, okay, so now we're talking about how to create that change.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's just a bullshit goal.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because I need more insight, too.
What do you mean?
I need more insight onto what we're currently doing.
Okay. So how much profit do you currently make? How much profit does the business currently do? So like that's a problem in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
So like how are we going to judge success of 2025?
We're going to have to track everything.
Right. So, because like, I mean, I just look at that $3 million with more profit. Okay, $1 more profit, $1 million more profit.
I would say a mil profit.
Okay, so we're getting closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just shooting in the dark right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a million.
So, 1 million profit. Okay. Oh, sorry, looking at the smiley face. Okay. So 33% margin on $3 million top line. Okay. Does this fall under the category of a real target? Something that feels slightly radical, so something slightly bigger than real, or impossible?
I would say it's definitely real.
Okay. So that's cool, but like we're not here to achieve some shit that we were already going to achieve without being in this room.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's bullshit. So let's get radical. So what would it take to go to radical? What's something that you're like, man, if Carrie walks in here and I tell her this number, she's like, what the actual fuck?
If I told her I wanted to do 3 million profit,
Okay.
that would probably.
So is that radical or is that impossible?
I still think that that's radical.
Okay. So we're in radical. What would be an impossible game? 5. So you came and you started with $3 million with more profit, which was a complete pile of shit. And now we're at $5 million profit, which is an impossible game. That sounds like something we should be achieving. By the way, right? Let's look at this. Is more sales and marketing gonna fix your fucking profitability? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt you're gonna go 5x profit this year from more sales and marketing.
I mean, it's also going to be some of the offers structure, I think.
You can change your offers, you ain't gonna fucking go 5x profit. I'm just gonna let you know. If you think you're gonna operate in the same container and you're gonna 5x your profit, you're crazy. What's gonna have to change?
The way we operate.
Probably. What else? What else is gonna have to change? Think all the way back to the very beginning of today. What else is gonna have to change?
Systems,
Possibly.
our mindset.
That's a big one,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fundamentally think about your business differently.
Yeah.
Your business is no longer like, let's go out and find all the customers and fucking nutrition coach them. You ain't getting the $5 million profit with that shit.
No, it's definitely going to be more through like the certifications.
So you're gonna have to have new offers. You're gonna have to have new acquisition streams.
Right.
Right? We're going to have to fundamentally take this and it's gonna have to be this. So like whatever lives in here, right? Like that's this. All of this is undefined. You're gonna have to define that shit. You see what I mean? Like you're fundamentally gonna have to define what's there if you want to go 5x. So you guys are gonna have to start seeing your business differently. It's not just, oh, we need better ads. Oh, we need this funnel. Like, fuck off. Literally for us to go from 2 million to 10 million, I was like, well, we need a new acquisition arm. Okay, so overnight I found 1 million leads. I fundamentally started thinking about acquisition differently. I found 1 million leads overnight. It was just a different thought process. I wasn't thinking about Instagram posting and Facebook posting and ads, right? I was like, oh, I know where I can get 1 million leads. Made it happen overnight. So you guys are gonna start having to think about that differently. Now, if you guys are committing to the impossible game of 5 million profit, I love that. Okay, so what does that mean? Now let's break this down into like an actual target. Right? What is an actual target? Well, we're going to take that impossible game and we're going to work it back, right, into Q1, right? We're going to work that back into monthly, right? So January. And then we're going to have wins, which is every day. Okay, the wins are a function of the tools that we just talked about. Does everybody understand the map and the win? The map that we're always operating on is monthly. The map that we're always operating on is monthly. The win is every single day. If you don't complete the daily win and you don't hit the month, your impossible game is in jeopardy. This is what keeps us present. So when we look, right, at this continuum, for us to win this half with the impossible game, we have to be doing this every single day. That make sense?
And you said wins are daily?
Daily win. Okay. Yep. Which is why we have our win of the day.
Yeah.
Right? It's why we have our daily win maps. This is how we get clear on doing a lot of shit in a small amount of time. How many of you guys look at 2024, just with what we've done thus far today? You look at 2024 and you're like, I left a shitload on the table. Anybody? Yes, no? You probably left a ton on the table. You probably did a lot, don't get me wrong. You probably did a lot. But it's like, God damn, how much more could I have done? Cool. So for us to actually create impossible games, for us to win impossible games, it comes down to like two things, right? Which is like, we need to have facts, and we need to have futures, okay? What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna identify all the facts of where we're at today. January, let's say the 5th, January 5th, 2025. What are the facts? And I wanna do this, because our impossible game, by the way, like that was cute, like that's great for business, but like I didn't hear anything about body, I didn't hear anything about personal development, I didn't hear anything about connection.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like that matters too.
Yeah.
So, like when we look at this, what I want to know, starting in facts, body, personal, I want to know the facts. I want to know what's winning and what's holding us back in each one of those. Our DJ went to take a piss break. When he comes back, he'll give us some music. In 15 minutes, I want you to identify this, and I want you to write it all down. What are the facts inside of our body, personal, connection, and business? And inside of facts, where are we winning? What's working? And what's holding us back? Where are we currently winning? What's holding us back? Inside of facts. I don't want emotions. I feel good about our marketing. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if you feel good about it. I want to know, is it working? Are you getting leads? Are you getting them cheap? Do you have adequate amounts of leads? Do you have adequate amounts of sales conversations? Is your connection to your significant other weighing you down? Is it supporting you? Is your personal development helping you? Is it hindering you?
I generally feel pretty proud of the effort I put in to the things that...
Are you showcasing that at all anywhere?
With Claudia, I'll tell her.
Are you showcasing it publicly? Okay, so I would say it's the only area that's like holding you back.
Why?
Is,
How
well,
do you do that?
I think leading is a function of living. And I think that like your clients probably want to know that you're improving. And so I think that not wanting to showcase it, I think, and I'm not saying you have to, but I think it's a line of questioning. Like what are the facts that exist there? Why are we not wanting to put that out there? Why are we not finding significance in that? I mean, if we have a real reason not to, that's okay. But if it's just kind of like I haven't done it, why?
I think my reason's probably just a very made up reason, but it's like I don't want to seem like braggy.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I'm gonna tell you, like, okay, we all said Garrett White's 225 pounds. Do you think he brags?
Yeah, a little bit.
But do you think it comes off douchey? When he's talking about like growing from 180 pounds to 200, do you think that it comes off douchey? No, it's a mission.
Yeah.
And it's also, in my opinion, it shows commitment to an outcome.
Sure.
And so I think that makes him a more powerful leader. And so I think there's probably something inside of body, which is like your acceptance of leading through a physical example.
Okay.
By the way, that's one of what's holding me back. Like, where is my body holding me back? None of you should do what I do physically. I'm addicted to caffeine. I feel like a pile of shit 99% of the time. My nutrition is absolutely horrible. I fucking hate the gym. I go through the motions when I go to the gym. Like, there's nothing physically that is working for me. It is a massive anchor in everything I do. Like, it's a fucking anchor.
Yeah.
This is the weakest part of my core, factually. It's holding me back in golf. It's holding me back in how I feel inside of my own personal development. Holds me back in connection. Like, none of it. And there's like significant things. Like, dude, my list for body this year is a mile long. I had to get like my veneers redone. I got I got skincare I want to get into. Like, I actually need to get my fucking shit together. Like, it's long. And I look at it, well, it directly connects to the other three dimensions. So like, while my personal development I think is a 10 out of 10, it's probably a 9 out of 10. If I woke up with more energy, I'd probably be a fucking 10 out of 10. My connection, I don't give a shit about other humans, I don't give a shit about myself. There's no self-care. Business, fuck, I'm achieving all these things with like an energy level 4 out of 10. Imagine if I was a 10 out of 10. Imagine what I could do. Body's important. I don't have a fucking win. My win is I still have a body. I haven't completely burned it to the ground yet. Is that I actually do, like, regardless of how I feel, I still get to the gym 3 times a week. That's the only win I have. Is like I can commit to a routine. Right? That's so hard for me to say. I still have vanity metrics that rule my body, which is horrible. I still have anorexic tendencies. Those are the facts. Like, that's getting real with you guys. Like, that's getting fucking raw. How many of you guys went that deep, like, when looking at, like, your physicality? You guys go deep enough, or you're like, I'm committed to working out. Kylie, how deep did you go?
I went kind of deep. I'm taking this year to go into recovery, which is hard, to reset my adrenals and hormones. I've battled with hormones for the past few years.
Great.
And
so what's not working for us right now is the current state of our hormones.
Right.
Great.
Doing it on my own.
Great.
So I have hired a coach who I've been working with. I can't say I've been all in on it, so I can definitely level up there and then also share my experience, like you mentioned.
Yep.
But already I've felt the difference. I've gotten off almost all of my medication.
Great.
Decreased caffeine, where I only do mushroom caffeine, so like 100 milligrams a day.
Great.
Just working on the hormonal reset so that I can start to build muscle again, because she's like, you're just working against yourself right now where your hormones are at. So taking a step back to do that, but I feel like just mood and energy and snappiness, it's all come so far for me, and so I'm excited to see what this year brings.
Great.
It takes me a little bit to back off.
Great.
So.
Megan, what about you? What did you have in body?
Yeah, I mean, I was more disconnected from it at first with just what you were saying. I think the energy thing was a big deal because I've been, like on the self-care and doing stuff on that side for myself. I put it at the bottom of my list. So like I'll still go through the motions, I'll get my steps in, I'll get my training in, but the energy hasn't been there. But I also realized right now is like the personal development side. I haven't been pushing myself, like I've been in my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. So when I have bigger things to push for business and next level, all of that, it actually gives me more energy. So I feel like the combination of those two is going to be
Yeah, there's definitely a compounding effect.
right.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%. That's great. Steph, what about you?
Well, I like reflected on 2024, and I'm like, I had a freaking baby, so that's why.
That's great. This is not bad.
And so like, winning is like, I feel like I actually did a pretty good job during like pregnancy to like listen to my body and be okay with not like doing what I used to do all the time, which was like very scary for me, like to be a person in control. I had like a great pregnancy. I had a great labor and delivery. I like quote unquote bounced back like pretty good.
Yeah.
So like that was great. Things that were holding me back because it's always a thing that I like don't have time for. And I'm just like almost giving myself too much grace, being like, I mean, it's 5 months now. And I'm like, I jumped in right away afterwards because I like wanted to, and I'm just like, I'm like okay-ish, and it's like, no, I need to actually like do this better. So I'm actually doing our group coaching with our clients
That's great.
right now. So that starts tomorrow. Or I'm starting like a week early to like see if there's anything to iron out and change, but like actually doing it with people. And I have the goals of like specific strength lifts that I have written down to like get me back to where I want to be. And it's not necessarily like a physique goal. It's like I want to prove to myself that like I am still strong and I can still do these things.
It's awesome. It's great. So when we start with the facts, right, we start to see, okay, there's probably a lot of blind spots, right? Like, so Joe, like there's blind spots that you have, right? That you have like with your body. Like it's just become a very passive component. You're like, I'm winning, I'm good, but that's like, we're not necessarily looking at how it can really evolve into something that's a massive weapon for us in 2025, right? Megan, same thing. It's just kind of become like a passive thing. And really, like when we start to look at the facts, it's almost an anchor, right? It's actually pulling us down inside of personal development. It's pulling us down inside of our business, right? Like Steph, for you, it's like, okay, what was pre-pregnancy, pregnancy, delivery, it was a win. And then now towards the end of the year, it's becoming an anchor.
Yeah.
Right? And so like what we start to realize, like when we get comfortable and we don't look at the facts of this routinely, right? It can quickly become an anchor because it puts us in a comfort zone. And so this is why we play the impossible game. So I quickly, for the next 5 minutes, and we probably don't even need 5 minutes, probably need 3 minutes, what is your impossible game in your body this year? What is your impossible game in your body this year? DJ, give us 3 minutes.
A 100-mile race in under 24 hours too, and then I'm also doing a last man standing race that I'm gonna try to win. It's gonna be Nick Bear's last man standing race. I'm gonna try to win that. I also got into
Sounds
hand
impossible.
balancing. I also got into like hand balancing, so I'm a calisthenics athlete.
Yeah.
So there's like, so now I'm doing like hand balancing, so like one arm handstands,
Yeah.
and so like more like gymnastic stuff. So I'm trying to get to a pretty elite level.
Oh, I've seen it. He will. It's wild.
I'm trying to get to an elite level with hand balancing and ultra running in the same year.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm working towards.
Cool. Who's gonna follow that?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, my big running target was a half marathon. My wife signed me up for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
It's good. I like it. Jared, you said?
I feel like mine aren't like the impossible, because these are like the realistic targets that I'm working on right now. I don't know what I would make for like that, like even more, but like right now, like I have like my strength goals, basically a 500-pound deadlift, 500-pound squat, and a 400+ pound bench. I need to get leaner, so back down to just like about abs level, and then inadvertently zero pain, because that was like the big issue, is everything hurt, like the issues that I had. So a lot of that was getting me to like pain-free zone, which is right about now, but then inadvertently just making me scary in jiu-jitsu. So.
Is there like a jiu-jitsu target, like winning an event?
Well, that's the thing, is I have no desire to like go tear up competition.
Okay, so what about like the next belt, or?
None of that's in my control.
Kind
Because
of.
I just got a purple belt,
Right.
so it's like, unless something maybe impossible happens, like you don't just go to like brown
I know.
like a year.
I know,
So-
but maybe you can.
Okay, well there we go. It's undeniable progress where I have to get a brown belt.
There you go. There you go. And I feel like that's like, now you'll do all the things necessary to do that. And so nobody is waking up, like no purple belt's waking up today and they're like, I'm gonna get a brown belt this year. And you're like, I'm gonna get a brown belt. Great. Amazing. Like to me, that's the epitome of like what we're doing here. And there's a lot of shit you have to do to make that happen.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. That's the goal here. And all the other things will serve that.
Yeah.
The strength work, like, great. Possible game is like 170 ball speed, handicap maintains +1 at the absolute highest, and also to make it to the USGA mid-am. So like to actually qualify this year, not get there, not be leading through 9 holes, not like, no, like fucking seal the deal, get it done. So that's my impossible game, and there's a lot that has to happen. Like for me, I have to be the top 3 of 90 people that day. It has to be a good day. I can't fuck up my peak. I gotta show the fuck up. If I have a bad first hole, great, it's 17 to recover. But, so that's a really big one for me. But also for me is like get my veneers redone. It's like figure out, like I've been fucking around with like the whole hair thing. Am I gonna go overseas? Am I gonna do it locally? But like I wanna do the hair implants. That's a big thing to me. Another thing is like figure out I haven't figured out the impossible game on the body side yet because I don't know what I'm gonna do physically. Training, like I need something there.
Bodybuilding show.
No, but I have considered a shoot.
Oh.
Right, I have considered like a photo shoot, just purely like a branding shoot, not like,
Dan Martell.
you know,
Yeah.
but like,
Hey, Garrett would do it with you.
he would, but
I got you in that aspect.
I know, I think
I'm telling you.
everybody wants to help, but it's like, I gotta want to help.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like, it's become a source of complacency, just being honest. And it's like, that's the biggest hole in my game right now.
Yeah.
I just don't care enough until I do. Until, you know, you guys don't know, but I was in the hospital last week. So, actually, I still have the cute little thing that they send you home with. Like, that wasn't that long ago. Like, nobody knows. I didn't make a big deal of it. You don't even know.
I didn't know.
Yeah. So, like, when it matters. But I just don't fucking care. Like, I'll grind myself into the ground and not give a shit. And it is what it is. So, I have to figure that piece out. But it's right now, body's an anchor, right? I want body to be a fucking weapon. Carrie, what's your impossible body game for 2024 or 2025?
Hi guys, I'm Carrie.
We didn't even do intros today. We don't care. I don't give a fuck who all these people are.
Hi, anyway. So I'm 50 this year, and everything shifts, I think.
Does anybody like believe that looking at her? Yeah.
The thing I talk to my clients about all the time is what do you want, but why do you want it? And the why is really big to me.
Yeah.
Like, why does the hair matter so much to you? Right.
Because it's a source of insecurity.
Right, but that comes from inside.
100%.
Right? As opposed to.
But it's still a source of insecurity.
Totally get it.
Yeah.
So I've been digging a lot into that. As somebody that had an eating disorder when I was younger, I don't have body goals around a certain percentage or any of those pieces because it's held me back so much. It's also stuff that's really kind of out of my control in a lot of ways, but the behaviors I have are in my control to get me to the outcome. So my word this year is discipline, because as much as people will say I'm the most disciplined person they know, Kayla will say that, my whole team will say that, I play this game with myself a lot and I negotiate with myself and things like that. So for me, I need to see my why and what I want and why I want it is because I want to be 100 and I want to be able to kick a soccer ball with my great-grandkids. I don't want to. I was sick yesterday, which is why I didn't come today, and my 18-year-old packed my bag for me yesterday because I was literally in my bed, unable to move. 20 hours of sleep is amazing. And I thought to myself, I will never have my kids have to take care of me. So for me, if you call it an impossible game, because I haven't done it as well as I need to, I have to show up for myself in a way that continuously moves my body to another level so that I end up being that woman at 100 that can still travel and be with her great-grandkids and all of that. So for me, it's really around Like, I monitor my blood glucose levels. I want to be 85% in range most of the time. I love wine, and I will relax at night with a glass of wine more often than not. And I don't necessarily think it's a problem. I know it's not a problem, but I want to be disciplined to be like, no, you don't have to do that. So I really want to identify as somebody that doesn't drink wine, which is an impossible identity for me.
Okay.
And,
I love that one.
I go to a biohacking gym in New York City once a week, and these machines, they're incredible. They really track your progress every week. And so that's the only way I track my progress. I don't track my food, I don't track my workouts, I don't track any of that. But this, I can see how much stronger I'm getting. So I want to just stay in the green range with every workout that I do, so I know I'm moving in a direction towards strength, but not putting myself into a place of having to be at a certain number at a certain time. Fair?
It's just a lot of it's very relative and subjective. And so I think that our ability to be objective inside of subjective is nearly impossible. And so like the way you feel about a lot of those things will vary day to day, week to week, month to month. And so I don't really think it's like the target, right? Because it's like one of the things you said is like, I want to kick a soccer ball when I'm 100. Okay, great, that's cute. But like, what do you need to do this year so that you can do that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like but
it needs to be quantifiable. We need to get to the end of the year and say like, so like for me, I don't want weight and body fat goals either, former anorexic. Not okay, right? So like photo shoot to me, that's an impossible game. I gotta get over some shit for me to be okay, taking pictures shirtless. Like I'm gonna tell you, it hit me fucking real. Like 2 weeks ago, I got out of the hot tub at Lifetime, and I was like, the first time I was like fucking self-conscious. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm 40 years old and I'm right back to 18. Like it hit me, like a ton of bricks. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I was like, all right, I need to feel good about this.
My problem is when I was at the best shape of my life, I was just as obsessed on the other side of it.
100%.
Right? So
Absolutely.
I'm trying to find
Listen, the eating disorder is 360 degrees. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's why like my body goal is just like, okay, well, like what are the sources of insecurity that I can control, right? Well, like I need to have my veneers redone because it's 12 years, right? Like they need to be redone or they're gonna like break, and I don't want like little like fucking whatever's underneath there. I don't want that being my teeth. It's like little nubs. It's not cute. And like the hair thing is an insecurity. I want to do it because it'll make me feel better. Like and like that's like personal development shit that I will work on. But like I want to do it. But then like the ball speed thing, like that's an expression of my physicality.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. Like. So those are like my physical targets. I would love for you to have something like that, like the expression of you said like biohacking, you said like, you know, aging, like clearly like what matters to you is like longevity. And so what is the expression of your longevity this year? And I want that to be like I want it to be a stretch. I want it to build, by the way, your profit this year, your profit target is $5 million. Profit. You can thank Kayla for that.
We need to work on improving our close percentage and then take advantage of the new leads better because we grew over 14,000 leads this year between our Facebook group and email list. So we have a lot sitting there that we need to just nurture a bit more. Like I feel like we do a good job on that, but there's obviously for improvement. Get that book proposal done, write the damn book, and just get it out. Commence certification creation in Q4. Top up all my current coaches' rosters, and we hired a couple new coaches. The numbers were bigger than usual, so that's 117 new clients that we need. I want to appear on 3 podcasts a month, get the podcast listens to 100K listens per month, which is like a double where we're at right now. Email list and Facebook group growth, since we did 14K last year for new leads, I want to do 25 this year. 15% growth while maintaining 65% margins, so bring us up to 1.5 million, which is about 125,000 on average per month.
Top line or?
Yeah, top line. Because, yeah, like I really want to put most of my time and effort in the book. That's like my big priority. And then like appearing on more podcasts and stuff, because I know if I appear on podcasts, they listen to podcasts, which means they'll probably listen to mine, and then podcasts, that's where 60% of our calls come from, and where most of our sales come from as well, so I know that's like the best place to put my time and energy in terms of like nurturing.
What would it take for you to Starting next month, get on 4 podcasts a month.
Not much like I can do that, like soon. Like I could
What would it take to get on 5 podcasts a month?
more time, honestly.
Okay. What would it take for us to have more time?
Keep delegating more.
Okay. Would it be worth you getting on 5 podcasts a month?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I look at action, I'm just like, why don't we just delegate?
Yeah.
Delegating is not delegating. Delegating is you getting on podcasts, right? And so when we look at the impossible game, why aren't we setting a target of 1.2 take-home cash? And so how do we get there? Well, we get there by getting on more podcasts. How do we get on more podcasts? We start delegating. And so nurture, maybe, or we just get on more podcasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are we leaning into shit that we know will have undersized returns? Like, you can only control nurture so much.
Yeah.
You don't have to control the podcast stuff.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
If we put your business in a position where you had to podcast more, I don't think you hate your business.
No.
Okay. So
Try one every day.
it sounds like that's the direction we should be going. It sounds like your book and you being a podcast are the only things that should be at the forefront.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't serve those 2 things, we're probably not doing the right shit.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Everything else you're gonna do because it's who you are. It's like the foundation. We don't really need to go revisit your foundation. Right. So we need to really triple down on like, what does it take for you to do that? And so every week when we're looking top and middle of funnel and we're looking weekly targets, it's like, okay, what am I setting up for this week's podcast? What am I setting up for future podcasts? If you go on 5 a week for 52 weeks, it's 260 podcast episodes. Right?
Yeah.
It's 260 appearances this year. I think we could all agree if you had 200 appearances this year, your business would grow.
Yeah.
And then we could all agree that that would support the book launch. And so when we look at the actual mission, which is top of funnel visibility, I think we're doing okay. So if it doesn't have anything to do with those 2 things, what are we doing?
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
That right there changes your whole year. Everything. That's it. Because honestly, more visibility into the machine you've built, you're gonna go to 10 million.
Yeah.
If you want to.
And it's built easily enough for me to like, I mean, every time we post about hire, we get like a stupid amount of coaches that apply, and like, so to scale it is not an issue.
Yep. Yep. You have the right offer. I would also have you consider, how do we take graduation from a problem to a positive?
We have like our VIP program, like Legacy, which is like been really good. Where it's just like it's fewer contact points and stuff, but I feel like I need to have something else after that. Or exercise subscription is good too, but almost a way to like pay super low ticket just to stay in like the group chat and stuff.
So why don't we create that?
Okay. What is like a reasonable price do you think?
$20 a month?
Okay.
$50 a month? Something cheap? My goal is that.
And that would give them access still to like our client portal too, which is what a lot of people love. So.
No. So like split the difference. $37 a month.
Okay.
I think that's a threshold most people are not overly concerned with. You could even, if you do bi-weekly, right?
Yep.
So go to 19 every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So like on average, a little over 40 a month. So you're adding an extra $500 a year per client. That's reasonable. Like that's significant in terms of take-home pay.
You sign up 100 clients.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's 50 grand,
Yeah.
right?
That's not how we put that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's $50,000 a year that we're talking about. So, I mean, that's significant in terms of take-home pay because it's all margin. That's all margin. So, cool. I like that. I mean, I think those are big opportunities for us. Cool.
And then what about like our exercise subscription? Would they get access to that too, or would that be like an upsell?
That's up to you. Like, I don't know where that fits into your customer
Because like
journey.
our exercise subscription program is like $45 a month currently, and you just.
I don't like having multiple subscriptions.
Okay. Yeah.
Try to make it all one. Yeah. Great. Everybody see that? Literally like facts, futures, all of a sudden clarity is like super fucking high. So tactically, now we just break it down into months and weeks, and it's honestly very simple, right? Jared?
We already went through body. So personal, facts, things that are going well is, because I have a hard time setting a goal for this because I'm so in the weeds with it. From the personal and spiritual side, like I've been progressing with a lot of stuff, been working on therapy, been dove in this past 6 months and been doing an unreasonable amount of like shadow work and all this the IFS stuff. So like I'm like balls deep in that, so that's all going really well and making great progress with it. As far as holding back the facts, I need to be more consistent with the daily reflection. I need to keep continuing doing that the deep work. And then it's usually the first thing that starts to slip when I'm behind in business stuff. That's the biggest thing I notice.
Interesting.
I notice when I'm like for example, like in my ideal morning is I get up and then I have my quiet time and my like one thing like Kyle challenges all of us to do is listen to silence for a full hour before anything.
Love that.
And when I do it, it's a game changer. But let's say sleep didn't happen very well last night, and I'm like, okay, I gotta basically get up. Getting up extra early to basically be awake asleep for an hour. There's been more mornings than not. I'm like, I gotta get busy and start on work. So I've been compromising on that. So I just need to have a better standard with that. Because then I notice whenever I don't do that stuff, business stuff slides.
How are you going to hold yourself accountable?
You just do it. But accountability requires a third person or a third party.
Not necessarily. You fucking post it in the group every day that you did it.
Yeah.
And if we don't see it, like, call you out on it.
Okay.
Put it in your daily reflection.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, put it in your win of the day.
Yeah.
So, I think there's an element to you that's like so just like endearing every time you talk about that stuff. And I think it's like the foundation of your brand, but I don't think you talk about your own experience with it enough. And so like I would challenge you, stay committed, but then share your commitment.
Okay.
And like, so similar to Steph, where like having trouble finding the body target would just, because this is such a strength for you, start to fucking lead it. Like lead it publicly.
Okay.
There's so many people that want the self-awareness you have. I mean, you're like, every time you come in a room, you have such contribution to individuals growing. And you have it in October, you have it here, like you have such contribution. People need to see that. Oh, I would argue just fucking find a way to start showing this publicly.
Yeah. One thing I thought about doing that I've seen Kyle do is he actually, like, for anyone who wants to join in, he's like, hey, I think I'm going to do an hour, like basically an hour meditation every day. I'm going to do it for me, but I'm going to just set up Zoom right here, and whoever wants to join me can.
Bingo.
And then see.
I think you should do similar things.
Yeah. So.
And I think you should help, lead people through that.
Okay.
Because you're going to touch people that Kyle doesn't. You're going to touch people in the dietary world. I mean, that's why they're following you.
Yeah. And then business. So a lot is actually, so there's a lot with this. So as far as facts for winning, totally aligned with the new model. And the new model's proven. Like it's, so in just 7 or 8 short months, like it went from like tear this motherfucker to the ground to like the model couldn't be more aligned. So
love it.
Incredible. Team is great. Culture is great. Like, amongst the few people that are left, it couldn't be better. Profits are great. Like even if like because of that transition, you know, obviously we made less money this year, but like money's not an issue.
You kept the same, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's right.
So got.
Who the fuck cares about the dick measuring contest of top line revenue?
Right. Well,
I wrote that, and people are like, "Did you actually write that?" Yep.
So here's the thing. There's a lot of like come to Jesus moments with that because my ego didn't like that.
I know.
Like there was a lot to.
That's why it took you so fucking long to do it.
Yeah. So
you had been unhappy for like 8 months.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So all that went through well, and then sitting right now, I've got a full roster with everyone paying me basically $1,000 a month.
Wow. We started at $800 a month with 30 people, and now we're at $1,000 a month with 30 people. That's a good raise.
No, I keep it.
Or 20 people. No, it's a good raise.
But and it's ironic where like the time I think I text you every time I close one because it's as soon as one falls off, it's like the next one is automatically on my calendar ready to sign up in 30 minutes.
That's why the model works every time.
So I do, and then so as far as holding back, as far, like what I feel like I'm needing is kind of like we chatted on our last call about, I basically want to have a more consistent setup for signups coming into the collective, because I feel like we shifted one of the strategies from open close to now we're just going to keep it open. I feel like I still am struggling with an exact strategy for that. I would like to grow the wait list for one-on-one, but I'm caught in this juggling act of like, I don't want to talk about it if I can't bring people on, but I also like the idea of having like, I have X many people on a wait list.
You can just hit your collective people and say, does anybody want to be on the wait list for one-on-one?
Okay. I feel like I'm lacking some clarity on in the trenches, like overall strategy of like, cool, other than what I'm doing right now, which is like email list, my social media stuff, my current things that isn't quite working. I feel like I lack in the trenches strategy. I feel like I do need better messaging and storytelling. And then I also want to get clear from you on, because of the change in the business, what metrics I actually need to be looking at on the regular for making decisions.
Where are we closing collective people? DM or calls?
So predominantly either going to a link, whether it be email list, DMs or what have you, or the launch style, like, hey, everyone go to this.
So then, like, the biggest metric would be, in my opinion, conversations. Because, like, if we're just trying to arbitrage tons of conversations daily, we should be steering all of them towards collective.
Yeah,
I don't think outbound has the same efficacy that it once did.
Sure.
I think that you need to facilitate inbound conversations.
And so
DM me the word this, comment that, like yesterday, for instance, on Facebook, I was like, just DM me the word this. I was like, I'm not interested in engaging in comments. Like, I openly said that. I probably had 16 or 18 messages on Facebook, and my Facebook's ice cold right now because I never touch it.
Okay.
Like, the rules of the internet are slowly changing.
Well, like, dude, we don't get hardly my CSM is every day, like, and she's a rock star. She's with her stuff, but she can't get hardly anyone to reply to anything or anyone message her when we say, hey, message either me or message her.
If you're selling collective, which is what, 500 a month?
Little under 3.
Right. Like, you could do it through Instagram.
So, but like, what should I do with my Facebook group?
Keep the same thing. Don't change it.
Just keep.
Facebook's setting up for something. Like, 1,000,000% guaranteed some sort of paid group traffic is coming.
Okay.
Like, I would stake a lot of things on it, which means they're trying to make it look worse than it is. It's not that bad.
Okay.
But, so don't change anything. Just understand from like a time, like a return on investment perspective, your ROI is probably going to come better in other channels.
Okay.
So what's the impossible game?
My original target is I want to, by the end of the year, be sitting at, roughly between 80 and 90K profit, which means I need about a top line of 110.
80 and 90K per month.
Per month, profit.
Got it. Okay.
Per month.
I was like, huh?
No.
I was like,
No.
I was like, literally, like, okay.
No.
How much profit do you want to make this year? $1 million? So here's the thing, guys. When we do impossible, and this is for everybody, when we do like an impossible game of $1 million target, it doesn't mean you need to make $83,000 a month. It means we probably need to do like 40K profit in January, but by December we're doing 120K in profit. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like, it's not going to just be the same every single month. I mean, for us to hit 10 million, we're not just going to be at like 900 grand this month. Like, that's retarded.
But $1 million in profit would be great.
Okay. Yeah. So then let's like zoom it out, and it's like, okay, like what does it take to hit $1 million in profit? So it's like fill the collective, right? Mm-hmm. What are the things we need to do to hit so that like we have these targets, and now let's reverse engineer to the action steps to get there. So like the podcast one, sure, like I agree, we should get you on more podcasts. Why? Right? So like with Steph, it's like we know for her that's lead gen. Mm-hmm. So like we're gonna get on 5 podcasts. The thing we're gonna do at the end of Q1 is like if we get on 5 podcasts a week and leads didn't go up in Q1, okay, well, do we need to revisit this as a tactic? Mm-hmm. Right? That's a big piece, because for us it's like that's a lead gen thing.
Sure.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like, yes, I want your personal brand to grow. I love the notion of YouTube, but it's all around what? Like leads and applications.
Right.
So like for me, what I heard is like, obviously we want to hit $1 million in bottom line revenue, but we're going to do that through inbound conversations. So everything we're doing now has to facilitate inbound conversations. We can do as much outbound as we want, but we're not seeing success with that.
Sure.
So let's not lean into it. Mm-hmm. Let's figure out how are we getting inbound conversations.
Shut down. Like I have like my assistant, she basically sends I don't do any of the outbound, my assistant does.
I mean, is it returning anything?
No, not really.
Okay.
Sorry, about a month ago.
I mean, I would give it maybe one more month.
Okay.
And then, I mean, if we're not seeing anything, like, let's switch to inbound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that there's, like, whatever you pay your assistant, you can spend on ads to get inbound. Like, just spend in, like, boosting your posts.
So, and still playing with some of that right now, and it's not doing, they're still testing some of the conversions of it, or a couple ways they're writing it, but otherwise, like, we're getting good numbers on the actual ads.
That's great. Ads to visibility, visibility to inbound, conversation to close, in my opinion, is the most effective funnel right now. I don't like direct response anything. I like getting something in front of people and having them watch it and being like, there's no opt-in at all. I don't even need your email. Like, go watch this thing. And then it's like on that thing, it's like, hey, I still don't want your email, but if you like this, watch this. And then they watch that and it links them directly to YouTube. Okay. Now they're on your YouTube channel. Okay, so now we're trying to get them to subscribe. Yeah. Well, now they're in the rabbit hole of your YouTube channel. What was it, like Ravi that I just sent you? Like, he's got stats. He's people that come from YouTube channels are converting in 6 days or less. People that come from other funnel sources are converting in 32 days.
The lady I just signed up the other day, she was, I think, in my ecosystem for just a few days.
YouTube.
Found I can't remember which one it was because we post on both. She found the podcast that I did on, basically I framed it, here's the exact frameworks I use to create frictionless lifelong fat loss. And I said, I'm not gatekeeping, I will lay it all out for you. But I have it on the podcast, YouTube, and like Spotify. And she's like, where do I sign?
Because she probably went into a little bit of a rabbit hole, and then that was it. Great. That is the goal. To me, that's what 2025 is. There's no more fucking email copy hacks. There's no more fucking like inside your Facebook group hacks. There's no funnel hacks. Like, to me, it is a game of like getting people to be in your content. Like, I firmly believe that it's more important than ever to have a rabbit hole for people to get into.
That was I think for me where that means some tweaks and adjustments in my messaging as a whole, not just like copywriting, but messaging is in as far as how I do that storytelling. I think is one of my biggest areas. I think it's gotten really well, but I feel like there's still I feel like there's a gap there.
So reverse engineer from the $1 million. What does it look like to achieve the $1 million per product, right? Like, let's get there, and then let's figure out, great, like, what are the action items, and we'll be good.
How would I back those numbers out if it's not going to be linear, like, cool, not 83,000?
What does it look like at $1 million?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From a 12-month perspective?
What is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, let's just call it $100K a month. What does a $100,000 a month look like? X number of one-on-ones, X number of collectives, X number of digital products. Yep. Okay. What does that look like? Clear. Great. Let's get there. Cool.
Yep.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yep. Megan. Facts.
He's like, you need to take a break, and I'm like, you need to work harder. Like,
yep.
We're just going back and forth. Yep. So yeah, that's the last year, I would say, and then
it's definitely a win, right? It's something that, like, if not properly thought of, could not necessarily be viewed as a win, but I think it's a win, and I think there's learning that can be extracted from it. That's a win.
Yeah, it's definitely felt good after getting. Well, obviously, it's never always done, but like getting to a new level of communication and understanding and realization. Like I think
daily reflection is going to serve you both.
I've
massively.
been reflecting on so much stuff lately, yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to change you. Right. It's gonna completely change, and it's probably going to change your relationship. Yeah. That's okay. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, fast forward a year, I can tell you it will. I've lived it. Yeah. So, and that's okay. Like, there's so many things that we avoid saying because we don't want to necessarily hear them.
Right.
And it's like, okay, rule number 1, code, tell the truth.
Yeah.
Facts. Like, it will fuck your world up.
Yeah. I mean, like, this new year, basically, like, it's always been, I wanted, like, oh, the husband and wife team and the power couple and all that kind of stuff, and it was just the realization, like, no, this is actually going to be my business, and I'm going to be the brand, I'm going to be the face, and, like, great. Taking full ownership of that part. But that's also
huge.
It's scary.
That's a big realization. But that's huge. But I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Like, that's great.
So that is the idea for the new year. And then, the other part is just I really want to get super clear on just like the best use of time too, because I thought like, oh, we just need to hire and we need to delegate, we need to do all that thing. Yes, that could be, but there's people I know who are making 10 times as much without hiring. So it's like, what am I bottlenecking myself on where I can actually max out my income potential before even scaling and hiring more team?
So impossible game is what?
Hitting 7 figures and just having like maybe one-time full-time person.
Okay.
That's underneath me.
Great.
So.
Great. Hitting a 7-figure year top line revenue.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Hitting 7 figures top line with no more than 1 employee.
Yes.
Great. I'm here for it. So now what we need to do is we need to, similar to Jared, it's like let's reverse engineer that.
Yeah.
And back to the very beginning of today, you probably got to think differently.
Mm-hmm.
Your current offer suite probably doesn't get you there.
No.
I'm just just being open.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets you there. Okay, so let's think differently. What are the offers? How do we revamp the offers? And by the way, when you get more excited about the offers, guess what you'll stop doing? You'll stop ignoring the lead gen. You're not excited about it right now because
it means more work for me.
like the subconscious to you right now says, I don't want to fucking do leads.
Yeah.
Because it's going to perpetuate the shit that I'm in.
Yes.
Right? So now we play the impossible game. We say, okay, $1 million, top line, 1 employee. All right, well, let's go brainstorm a new offer. Cool. Oh, I'm excited about that offer. Literally, you witnessed it. We're in Arizona. I swear to God, we're sitting in Arizona the night before their 2-day. I'm out dinner with our funnel builder. And I'm talking about offers. And I get like halfway through and I'm like, fuck, I just figured it out. And he was like, what? And I told him, he was like, that's genius. And then literally the next day, as they're in the room, I launched it on Instagram.
He's like, just made another 15K.
Literally, as they're all sitting there, I'm like, I just made $3,000.
Yeah.
We're up to 9 today. We're at 20 today.
Yeah.
And like, they're just like watching, and I'm like, just messaging people. And I have not been excited about that offer. I worked no more than 3 hours a day on it.
Yeah, that's insane.
It cost me, it's 3 hours of time in fulfillment per day to make over $200,000 a month.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, impossible game, play it, we'll find the offer.
Right.
And then you have the connection to people. We just have to be excited about what we're putting out there. But it has to start, you gotta be excited on the physical perspective. You gotta be growing personally. It's gotta strengthen your relationship or you're not going to do the business stuff.
Right.
Like you just won't. So I'm like, great, $1 million, probably needs a new offer. Let's get the new offer. Let's fucking hit the ground running and let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the bottleneck is definitely with our current offer is just the amount of done for you aspect of it and doing a lot of the actual, like what I worked with you guys on of doing like that copy audit, that's worked really well for our CMO clients. And like I haven't built out a funnel for that, but that's so easy and it doesn't take me a lot of time.
Right.
Versus actually getting nitty gritty and writing the copy for all of these different pieces of their brand is so time consuming.
Great.
So, but one is reoccurring revenue and the other is just a one and done.
So how do we bring the two together?
Right.
Okay. Maybe we're finding a copywriter that we outsource and we pay a percentage to.
Be a percentage. I've hired copywriters.
Or we go back to the conversation and we reduce the total number of clients and you're just taking percentage of the business.
I like that idea a ton. I feel like, oh, I'm not there yet and I have the limiting beliefs around it and all that.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I think you're there. You're really good. I think like you just go in and like you reframe, like if I was gonna pay a fractional CMO and I was like, cool, you're gonna do funnel builds and this and that, like I'll pay you a retainer on a draw and then anything you make me above and beyond that we'll just, we'll split.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And everyone's fully invested.
It makes sense. I guess it's just scary because I've never.
But you only have to pitch like the low number.
Okay.
Right? So like whatever you're used to pitching, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever. Hey, I'll do $10,000, it's on a draw. I believe I'm gonna make you significantly more. Right? So anything over whatever, like if let's just say you're taking 10%, anything that you make over $100,000 per month, I get 10% of. So 10K is like the bare minimum.
Right.
If I don't hit my draw in like 90 days, we should reconsider our work together.
Right.
So you're expecting to get paid a bigger commission.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, right now. That's
You can't pay a fucking funnel builder, media buyer, copyright. Like, you can't pay 10 grand to have that.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. I don't know anybody that has all of those in-house for 10 grand.
I know. And that's what, like, we're just charging $5,500 a month right now.
I know.
It's crazy, ridiculous low.
I know, it's super cheap.
That's what I've realized too. But I hate all the overhyped BS people out there, and so many of our clients are like literally in tears that we actually care about their business and aren't trying to just screw them on pricing.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe you build a higher ticket, and then anybody that can't afford a higher ticket, they do get the one-off. Where it's like, hey, listen, if you can't afford to work with us this year, like factually, we eliminated the network offer. Why? Why would we eliminate that? It's allowed us to go from middle to go high and low.
okay.
Now you either play with us in here, in the elite, or you pay us one time for this low ticket shit and you figure out how to get there.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's like, I'm not done playing in the middle.
Interesting.
So like, I love this room. Like, I love the next 2 days, but I love this room.
Yeah.
Right? You guys want to grow. You guys aren't here, but we didn't talk about Facebook ads. Like, no, like, we're here to talk about shit that's going to make us money.
Right.
Right? And so, next 2 days requires a little bit more of me to, like, be a little nicer, right? Like, you gotta change, you gotta be like a little bit of a chameleon and, like, you know, hold hands a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the day, anybody that doesn't qualify for your CMO services, it's like, great, well, here, use this product. It'll fucking crush for you. And once you're crushing, revisit and come to us. It's like Alex Hormozy's strategy. Right? Acquisition.com, like he did free and high ticket.
Right.
Right? And so he's like, I'm going to give you everything you need for free so that you make $3 million. And when you make $3 million, then come join acquisition.com.
Right. Yeah.
And now he's literally doing the same thing in his event model.
Oh, really?
Come to our event. If you make X amount, you get invited to the bigger event. If you don't make X amount, use what you learned here so that you can get invited to the bigger event. Same exact model. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want you to spend a little bit of time doing is reverse engineer out from $1 million. What gets you excited? And even if you got to adjust the price points, even if you got to bring a whole new offer, if you got to kill an offer, I don't care.
Yeah.
You got a fucking blank slate in front of you. That's the beauty of it. You get to choose your business. You can reinvent yourself every fucking day if you want.
Yeah. I love the auditing side. Like, that's
Great.
fun, it's easy, and people are like, so.
Yeah.
It's a,
Great.
It's a good use of my time.
So make that as the flagship of how we do things, but get paid on the back of it.
So that could build into.
And by the way, think about acquisition slightly differently. Who do you have access to that could bring you those clients without you having to do lots of visibility shit? You know what I mean? Think about I want you to fundamentally change how you're seeing every component of your business.
Yeah, I never think that way. That's why
Exactly.
always like, I'll just figure this out on my own
Yeah.
and not ask for help.
Yeah. Well, we're here to help. So I want you to spend time doing that the next 2 days. So when we get to the end of today, I'll kind of give you guys instructions on how to use like the next 2 days with us. But like I'm going to spend time sitting with each of you over the next 2 days so we can map out everything.
Okay.
So not everybody else will be here the next 2 days gets that offer, but you guys are here. So is that helpful?
Very.
Okay. Fantastic.
I think that's.
I'm getting pretty good at Mario Kart.
There you go.
My daughter makes me play like multiple times a day, and it's a great thing. It's our favorite thing to do together.
Yeah.
What if like over the next year you literally documented that every single day, and on her birthday next year you gave her 365 days, like you literally showed her exactly what the next year, like the last year of her life was.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you know you've done it every day.
Yeah.
And so you can't do it in a year unless you do it every day.
Yeah.
So that becomes the impossible game. Her birthday next year, you're able to present to her your lives together for 365 days.
That's awesome. That's it. Yeah.
That's sick. That's quantifiable, that's objective. I love that.
On the.
And dude, that'll center you every day.
Yeah.
Literally every day it'll bring you back to like your purpose.
And I think that's the thing, like, I focus so much on the business side, and I need to lean into the connection and personal development to feed the body and business.
Amen, bro.
Because I mean, it's not crazy numbers we have to do for business. Like, if we keep current numbers, I basically need 500 calls if I suck at closing. And so,
You're awful at it, it sounds like.
He's like, I just stepped out and casually accepted 20 grand, guys. No big deal.
Wait, can you do me a favor and just not be 24?
Yeah, let's remind, he's 24 years old.
You can politely go fuck yourself.
Very impressive.
but I think on the reason all of it's been difficult, like, I mean, even with joining the lead, I told you, like, hey, we have to push the payment because,
Yeah.
like,
But you've done such a good job.
and I think it's the part where I know I need to go to a therapy or a counseling. I think that the notion I've always told myself was, I'll figure it out, which has been great until you have a parent who loses a 6-figure income. And then you have to jump in and fully support them. And then all the different things are kind of working.
But that's where I'll tell you, like, I'll play devil's advocate in that, like, and you're big in, like, the church game. Like, nothing's being thrown at you that, like, you weren't prepared for and that is too much. And, like, dude, I'm making more investments in my life right now, and it's scaring the literal shit out of me. Like, dude, I've had $600,000 in investments come out in the last 2 months. And, like, that scares the living shit out of me. And it's like, okay. And now my mom drops the bomb on me, like, yeah, I want to move up here. And I'm like, hey, I know what that means. She's like, oh, I'll rent. I know what that means. It means buy me a fucking house. Right? She'll never say it. She'll never say, will you buy me a house? But I promise you, if I go to her and I say, hey, I'll buy you a house, she'll be like, okay. Right? So what does that mean? I gotta buy a fucking house. All right, well, I got 600 grand coming out. I promise you that's more than enough for a down payment on the house she needs.
I hope so.
She ain't bougier than me. She ain't fucking bougier than I am. 600 don't do it on the next house I want. I'll tell you that.
Love it.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a lot. That shit keeps me centered, man.
Yeah.
Every day. It's like if I sit here and I let my mind go into that rabbit hole, dude, I'm fucked the rest of today. I'll be useless in business, and like that, it'll start the downward spiral. And so this morning, I know what I need to get done today. Tonight, I'll remember everything I got done today, and I'll plan what I need to get done tomorrow. And in my reflection, I'll think about my connection with my mother. And every day will be good. And it's like, you have all the tools in front of you. Don't let it overwhelm you.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, but that's why we have the way that we're operating now. Like, we're building a fundamental operating system because, dude, no offense, but somebody that's making 40K a year, they don't have the issues we have. Their mom's not coming to them and saying, hey, replace my 6-figure income. We've earned these problems.
New levels, new devils.
100%. But it's real and we have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And so nothing's happening that you can't handle. It's just, are you fucking prepared to handle it? And the answer is yes.
I think the thing that's weird with this is, like, business becomes the smallest component.
Boom. Great.
So I think that's the.
I'll tell you, ironically, dude, I'm going to big places this year. Business is the smallest component in my life.
Yeah.
And that's probably crazy for other people in this room to hear. This is the smallest component of my life this next year. You know why?
Why?
It's so easy. It's so clear. I have zero doubts about what we're doing. Like, none. Doesn't mean it's gonna be the least amount of work this year. It's probably like minute for minute, it probably will take more of my time. But it's the smallest focus. And that's crazy to even hear coming out of my own mouth.
So how do you set targets around that then? Because when I set targets, I feel like business is the big priority and everything else kind of fills in. But I also see the flip side of, like, what we do is simple to us, but not simple to the people that I help. And so, like I posted in the elite group the other day, like, we had a coach that day one on his offer, 13 grand monthly recurring revenue, all on yearly commitments, like, totally changed his life. And to me, it was like, well, that's just the model that we teach.
Absolutely.
But then I still go back to like, I need to be doing more in business, more in business, more in business, when I think the reality is like,
Why do you need to be doing more business?
I think it's the lack of wanting to give up control. Like I know, you guys all know, I know jack shit about marketing, like
Okay.
nothing.
But my question is, why does marketing matter for you right now?
I think marketing matters because I feel the burden of more coaches need to be in it
Why?
because it changes their life.
Okay.
So that's where,
So what's the impossible game this year? Because I'll tell you, marketing doesn't matter until it shows up in your impossible game. And so right now you're playing a very theoretical lifelong game.
yeah,
Great, you can't win that.
yeah.
That's the mission statement of your business. That builds like the core foundation. That builds your core tenets. Great, live by that. That's your code. Continue to live by it every day. Doesn't mean it's something you can win every day.
Yeah, and I think.
And
that's
you're
the-
conflating winning today with winning infinitely. Dude, you're never gonna touch all the people that need you.
Yeah,
You will die before that happens. Factually. There's not a single person that has fucking gone off this earth that touched everybody that needed them. You will be no different.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Something that, so I struggle with that a lot, personally, the concept of like, more is never enough.
Yeah.
It's something that's been coming up a lot for me in my own work, therapy, and the whole 9 yards, is, in some of my other, like, more spiritual mentors, is that the idea of more is strictly egoic. Like, there's part of all of our brains that, like, I think it's I saw Tony Robbins talk about it, where it's a self-protective mechanism, so we don't get hurt. That's why your client that loses 30 pounds in 30 days, their part of their brain will be, I should have lost 35. If you just closed 20K, part of your brain's like, man, I should have gone to 25. Whereas
that's exactly what I thought when I walked in the door.
exactly,
Yeah.
which is why like playing this is again me talking to me is playing the game of more is really dangerous, because like that for me, I struggle with that duality of wanting to be obsessed with growth. Like my whole tattoo on my arm is grow or die, but also a level of equanimity. That's why like I have an equanimity tattoo and an ambition tattoo, is because I think there's a magical land in the middle ground. But whenever we get in the construct of more and more and more, part of that is we have to look inward and go, whose voice is that? And a lot of times it's the ego, because again, not that setting targets are bad, but if we live in the space of more, that is strictly the ego. That's not anything else.
So one of the targets I set, and it's hard because you can't really quantify it, but it's grow in humility because of that, right? Like it's not doing more that changes my business. It's being a different leader.
Well, the other piece of that too.
Welcome to today.
Well, and the other piece of that too is, and this is something to unpack when you dive in, is I think most people who set out to do something great have this. We all have this in us somewhere. Whereas if you set a target and hit it, part of your brain goes, oh, so I am good enough. And that goes against the identity of I'm not good enough. So if you're constantly, I want more, you'll never be able to achieve it, enabling that identity of I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
So there's I think a layer in almost all high achievers of, we don't want to set a target we can hit, because if we hit it, that means it's death to that identity of, oh, I'm not good enough. So there's layers in that too. So
You should be a therapist.
I appreciate it.
Make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I think for you, you got to define an impossible game for 1 year. I think you tend to think too big. I think we need to get you committed to daily wins, monthly targets, and understanding how those things stack up. You're playing 5 years, which is what I need you to play, but I need you to think about what can we achieve. Most normal people will take them 3 years. We're going to achieve this year. But I need that quantified.
Yeah, and I think that's really the thing of like, I almost need to switch the impossible game to $1 million cash collected from October when we were at the fly-in to this October.
Right.
Because that scares me way more. I mean, we have 28K in recurring revenue, so it's like, it seems doable.
Yep.
But the other side of it, I think, is recognizing, I mean, hearing you talk about 10 businesses. We just brought on a partnership in a second business, which is a real estate investment trust and a community group that feeds that.
Yep.
And I have a big role in the teaching. And there's monthly events with that'll have to be at. And I go back and forth of like, am I splitting focus? But I also see both vehicles.
But are you
and I see that
right.
they feed each other, and they feed the long-term impossible game of like, can we hit 100 million at 35? That seems impossible.
Then that's what we should be going to. That'll change, that's generational wealth. It'll change your whole fucking family lineage.
Well, yeah, then 100 grand's not a big deal to support parents.
It's not very much.
But right now,
100 grand out of 100 million ain't really much. But 100 grand out of a million is a lot.
Let alone 100 grand on 200 grand.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that.
People think $1 million is a lot of money. It ain't that much money.
Yeah.
That goes real quick. Okay. I think you see where you're going.
Yeah.
Now you got to narrow it down to this year.
Yep.
So I need you to think about the big vision. Now we need to narrow it down to this year.
Okay.
And I think that the reason you have so many questions is because we haven't been able to narrow it down to a year. And I think that leads to distraction. And I think it leads to an inability to create that focus.
I think it's a good segue from October when it was like, what's your FU number? Mm-hmm. I've been so focused on that instead of recognizing how we get there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So it's a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's an annual thing.
Yeah. It's the things I don't like.
Yep.
Like this. Like just this stuff.
Yeah. This is the shit nobody likes, why nobody does it. That's why everyone sucks.
Fair.
If I'm being honest, like, it's why most people fucking suck. We can all go inside a fucking insert XYZ guru name and we know exactly what to expect. We'll fucking hype each other up, we'll fucking pat each other on the butt, tell you how fucking great you are, and tell you, do this in your marketing, it won't fucking work, and we'll see you in 90 days and your business will still fucking suck. We all been in those rooms. All of us. Great. Next time I'll take you on a fucking yacht. Your business will still suck in 90 days. But you can fucking post cool pictures of being on a fucking yacht. Great. I'm here to fucking make you money.
You let me pose in front of your McLaren.
You can pose in front of my McLaren all you want. You can pose in front of my fucking Audi. I got a fucking Audi in Scottsdale. Come to Scottsdale this week. Got fucking R8 out there. You fucking come pose at a mansion. The next one I buy. Have fun. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'm here to make you money.
I had one of my marketing director before Kayla quit very unexpectedly. Like
I remember you told me.
And she was really angry and had no idea. Like we had zero really indication of where she was. And she sent an email and she went really just nasty and dark with a bunch of people on my team and one of my business partners, and she said that she has a sixth sense of being able to see people as soon as she looks at them, she could look at them and know that they're a bullshitter. And she said that my business partner has that, my sales manager has that, and I have that. And she never wanted to tell me that before, but she knew that I was a bullshitter. And I was like, and it's so interesting to me because my husband will always say, if you know my heart, it is there, and it is there for everybody.
Yeah.
And so I think that has stuck with me since she did that in August, and she left, and I couldn't even like tap into that with her, but I was like, she was also a former client who said I had changed her life, right? So I think I've been reconciling with like,
Funny how that works.
Let me walk you back a few years.
Yeah, and my quote unquote ride or die, right? And
Let me walk you back to a person that I pulled out of the fucking gutter. Somebody that literally had to sell a pair of shoes to be able to pay for a flight to come to an event. Who then became the COO of my company, who him and his wife were making $400,000 a year from me. That then demanded 40% of my company overnight. And when not gifted 40% of my company, immediately tried to stab me in the back, message every client I have and say, oh, you don't know the real Jason, and basically talk shit about me all over the internet. Oh, that was number one. Then let me take you to COO number two. That upon getting fired, decided to go and fucking partner with all of the people that he supposedly hated that actually he had fired from our company. Who would call me every day, but then talk shit about me online later that day. But still call me every morning.
Yeah, this was like, I had no indication. That
No, this was happening after it all.
Oh,
Yeah. I can walk you into several examples.
Yeah.
Welcome to being a CEO.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that just really made me think like, okay, how am I coming across? Like I've just been
You're not.
getting a lot
Fuck
of
them.
that.
That's a projection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're projecting.
Do you do know Jesus was on a cross before he saved us? And he was fucking persecuted. People hated him.
I know.
People called Jesus a liar. Great. Guess what? They're looking at a fucking mirror. When they hold up a mirror, you're saying that I'm a liar, motherfucker. What lies are you telling? You want to tell people that I don't help people, how are you not helping people?
Yeah.
We fucking sat at goddamn family dinner the day after Thanksgiving. And this bitch is telling me fucking people like you. What the fuck you mean people like me? Well, your daughter can go to private gymnastics. Sure as fuck she can. Well, the person living next door to you, maybe she can't. That ain't my fucking problem. Because let me tell you, I probably come from a worse situation than her parents. I come from a very lower middle class family. Very. That's my niece's husband behind you. And you can ask him how much I will fucking take care of him and my niece. When not asked for it. Don't tell me I don't fucking help people. I'll give you the fucking shirt off my back. We've brought kids on our fucking stage that I didn't even know. Y'all don't even know the story with Leighton. I didn't even fucking know him. I had no idea who Chad and Angela were. They just bought a ticket to our event. I seen a kid in the fucking gym. His parents are like, well, 5 years, we're gonna build this swim spa so that maybe one day he can walk again. 5 fucking years, the kid's 5 years old. By the time he's 10, he's done. He ain't gonna fucking walk. Well, it's gonna take us that long to raise the money. Okay, here's the check. A blank fucking check.
Did not know that part of the story.
We met them at fucking Redcon Gym the night before a fucking live event. I had never met them a day in my life. I asked them how I could help. They said, we're hosting a thing next month. I said, great, I'll take the title sponsorship. How much is it? $5,000. Here you go. Here's a check. I said, how much are you trying to raise? They said, we need to raise $40,000. I said, great, what's your timeline? 5 years. I said, he don't have 5 years. They said, well, we don't have the money. Cool, now you do. How can we pay you back? You can't. Take my money, help him. He'll use that 40 grand better than I will. Kid gets in it every fucking night. That's a win. But go on the internet, I'm an asshole.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Cool. I'll continue being an asshole. I'm totally okay with being an asshole. Ask Fredo. Ask him. Had a fucking dinner with our financial advisor in Scottsdale. Hey, can you be there tomorrow? Yup, be there tomorrow. Book the flight next day.
And I'm here because you brought me up on the stage randomly too.
100%. So like this side, the monthly target, it's easy because it's like it's easy conceptually. This side's really easy every single day just to like go through the motions, but like this is the one that's going to take a little bit of work every week to create massive outcomes. So I want to make sure you guys are crystal clear. What are we doing in the next 7 days? Is there anybody that doesn't have clarity what they need to achieve in the next 7 days? Okay, so as we exit out of this and we have the week of the win, or the win of the week, right? And we go in the next 2-3 hours, most of us are starting to unplug from our day. What are we doing? We're filling out our win of the day document. What's the first thing? What's going to be on our list tomorrow?
If it's tonight.
If it's tonight and we're in our win of the day document and we're mapping out the shit that needs to get done tomorrow, obviously most of you guys are here, so what's happening? Like, does your team need to do shit? Is there shit you got to do before you get here? Remember, morning, afternoon, evening, right? Early morning, afternoon, evening. What's happening and when tomorrow? Obviously, there's 4 facts as your
An outcome or
I want you to picture like you're filling out the win of the day document tonight, right? There's 4 facts inside of that document. Fact 1 is what? It's the recap of today. Fact 2 is what? The morning for tomorrow. Fact 3 is the afternoon for tomorrow. Fact 4 is the evening for tomorrow. Are we clear on what tomorrow is going to bring? Like, I don't have mine yet because I'll fucking do this tonight, but you guys should be doing it right now.
So it's the plan, it's the action.
It's the plan for tomorrow. Yep.
I thought you were saying it was like what the win is tomorrow in terms of an outcome.
Well, your action should yield the outcome that you need
but I'm
for
thinking
tomorrow.
like this sign up happened versus I'm gonna make the offer for that.
Got it. Yeah. Make the offer. Yep. Now, in an ideal world, like, if you make the offer and it doesn't convert, like, you probably should go make 5 other offers until you get to the outcome that you wanted. Because, like, I'll tell you, we have a revenue target every day.
If you don't hit that, I was about to ask this. If you let's say
I'll grind my face off till midnight.
so let's say the day's gonna end and it's any time and you're like it's not happening today.
Then-
do you double
then
up
I-
tomorrow? Do you reassess the whole plan? Or?
It kind of depends on the day. Like, I don't have Emmy this week.
Yeah.
For me, I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm just going to grind a little bit. If it's Emmy time, I'm going to unplug and be like, cool, we'll book more tomorrow. Yeah. So it really just depends on the situation, which is why I think win of the day is so important to win of the week. Now, if it's Thursday and I miss 3 days in a row and I'm staring at that win of the week, I'm like, fuck, I got to grind. Then I'm grinding a little bit. Is this helpful?
Yeah.
You just feel like you have clarity as to how to attack the day, the week, the month, the year?
Yep.